Hey gang, thanks for joining me today for your coin market update. My wife and I are building a new computer, our first time doing that. I'm still working on the old computer, but in the process of making the transfer, I cleared my cache, which caused my charts to get erased. At first I was thinking to myself, what a bummer. But on further reflection, I'm going to choose to look at it as a chance to look at the charts with the beginner's mind. A fresh start. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the Dash market. So I had previously identified this price area you can see with the bar. And this has always acted as kind of support and resistance. It's just for whatever reason a really important price level for the Dash market. In fact, you can even go back further and see if we extended this out. This is an important level here as resistance, and even further back here as support and resistance. And so that just tends to be an important price level. If we can get up above that, that will act as pretty good support if we can get convincingly through that and close with the candle above that. The other thing that I was noticing that so we're currently in kind of a bullish trend because we broke out of this downward trend line with pretty good volume here. So boom up here, kind of made a run at this area, rejected, making another run out of it. We'll see what happens with this. But I want to call your attention to the relative strength index, the RSI, here on the bottom. And what I was noticing is that traditionally the 60 area on the RSI corresponds with kind of price breakouts. If you look at here, we got above the 60, it corresponded into good price movement to the upside. Same thing here, we got all the way up here, here translated into this move, here, this move, here, this move. So we made a run at the 60 right here, got rejected. We're going to do it again. So if we get above the 60, chances are we're going to get a pretty good price spike on that. But we're going to have to wait and see. So far, it's been pretty calm lately, but I'm really interested in the Dash market moving forward. Moving over to Bitcoin, we're going to start off with the Huobi exchange. I had drawn this triangle that looked really, really convincing. And as you can see, we're kind of past where the lines intersect, and we haven't got a big price movement. So we have to take what we get on the charts. We can't let our preconceived notions cloud our judgment. So it just didn't work out. So we're going to take this line off, and this support line hasn't worked either. I mean, we didn't get a big move, so it's just telling us that something else is in play here. If you look at kind of the price action, again, this is Huobi, so this is where most of the action is going on with the Chinese markets, the Chinese traders. You can kind of sense this really consolidation with the price movement, and it's usually a precursor to a big move. Let's go over to Bitstamp, where we have kind of the same thing with this triangle. You could consider this still in play, but because the Chinese market didn't really work out, I'm going to leave this up, but I'm not really convinced. What I am convinced on is that the 50-day moving average is still acting as a lot of good support, along with this bottom trend line. So we're just going to leave this here for fun. But as you can see, the volume has throughout, since here, has just been really low, and it's kind of just been consolidating. Sticking with the Bitcoin market, I want to go back over to this chart, and I had to redraw this because, again, I lost my data. But so the triangle still didn't work out, but the wave count is still good. And I want to call your attention to this price area. It's obviously in this time frame acting as pretty good overhead resistance. But if we go, so keep in mind this is like this, 680 area. I'm going to change this over to a week-long time frame. And as you can see here, this is the exact same area where it acted as overhead resistance before. So if we get over this on a day frame, go back here, if we get a closing candle above this area, it's my belief that we're gonna test the all-time highs. It's just the nature of how the charts are structured. This is really bullish. So keep in mind for a close above, it's like the starting gate would be a close above 680. If we get a close above, what is it, 700-ish, it should be off to the races. So this is really exciting to keep an eye on. And finally, let's take a look at the Ether market. Okay, so Ether is really struggling around this area. The good news is that, if you can recall, we broke out of this trend with this market, with this last price action. So that's the good news. But we are going to be, there's just a bunch of resistance overhead. I've used the Fibonacci fans and we're kind of bouncing off that. What I'm looking for, as you probably know, is the hard fork. I mean, that's really going to, from the fundamental perspective, going to really tell us what's going on with the coin. So that's reflecting in the charts as kind of some indecisions. But this is that whole Dow issue really broke this chart. So we're gonna, I hold Ether, so I'm rooting for it, but we have to take what we get. So that's it for now. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next Tuesday.